like to call to order the Parks and Recreation Board this Thursday, September 1st, 2022. So let's stand and let's take the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Phil, why don't you start introductions?
Phil Kaiser, member at large.
Bruce Yeager, South and Broad.
Will McCullough, vice chair, North and Broad.
Alan Arsenault, South of Broad.
Carlos K., representing the County School District.
Heather Clinton, Parks and Rec.
Shannon Loper, Director.
Antoinette Lynette, AQUATICS Manager.
Shane Sater, that's right.
Scott Whitehead, resident of the city of Beaufort.
Hey, Scott. All right.
Where are we at?
Bruce.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Logan Cunningham, District 7 County Representative.
Yeah, we should know you, right? Yeah. All right. In our audio video band.
Rob Lewis of the County Channel.
Thanks. Thanks, Robin. Sorry about that, Logan.
You're good.
All right. Can I get an approval of the agenda, please? Or motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Public comment. Anybody here for public comment?
I did.
Go right on up, sir. Just, I know you already introduced yourself, but.
I did.
Okay. You can do it again for that guy on the camera.
Okay. Scott Whitehead, resident of the city of Beaufort. Here to give you a quick little update on what we in the pickleball community north of the Broad are seeing. A year ago, this month, there were a dedication of courts, 4 new pickleball courts in Beaufort. Those are permanent courts built. 2 of those are at Shell Point and 2 at Southside. Previous to this, the pickleball community played on 2 dual-line tennis and pickleball courts. So this was a net gain, no pun intended, a net gain of 2 courts. In that year, our club has doubled in size. We've gone from 45 members to now 90 members. We started coordinating, trying to get together to play using Facebook, texts, an app called GroupMe, and all of those proved very unwieldy. So L11, who I'm sorry couldn't be here today, told us about an application called Playtime Schedule, and they use that in Asheville. So the club decided that they would be the administrator for introducing that to the community. As of Monday, 200 people were now on that application, using that to get together and play. It's been a great help to us, and it's also used across the country. People have found us and come to play on our sessions from as far away as Wisconsin, Maine, and other areas if they travel south or they visit relatives in town. I think you all want to know what a crazy phenomenon pickleball has become. It's been on, Al Roker's had it on NBC. People like Drew Brees have bought into the professional side of it now. It's not just played in the United States, it's played in 54 countries now, and there's talk about it becoming an Olympic sport. In addition to playing recreationally, we're involved in outreach. And on August the 10th, we held a pickleball clinic for physical education teachers, elementary school physical education teachers north of Broad. We invited 16, both public and private schools. 10 of those attended, as well as a high school AD. And it was an extremely successful event. We did basic introduction to pickleball, showed skills, practiced, and then we, along with other members of our club, got together with those teachers and played games. In addition to that, we found a sponsor for each school. And so we reached in our pocket for $35 and we'll provide those schools with a membership to the USA Pickleball Youth Program. And what that does is that provides those members with lesson plans, outlines, flashcards, videos, and also gives them a discount to various, on various equipment.
So technically your time is up, but since we don't have anybody else here, how much more do you have?
About 2 minutes.
Okay,
All right. I guess in closing, I can speed this up. In April, following the public comments on recreation for inclusion in the master plan, both clubs, the Seattle Pickleball Club and Beaufort Pickleball Club, wrote to the county council and others asking that more courts be available to players in a central location north of the Broad. We hear consistent rumors that there are plans to build a large complex at Burton Wells, and we would ask that prior to that being done, more courts be available to the public playing group in a central location, preferably south side. So, thank you for your time. We invite those north of the Broad to come out and watch play every morning of the week, particularly Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, either at Southside or Shell Point, 8 o'clock.
I just wanted to address something with Shannon also. Shannon, was Scott the gentleman that we were talking about the scheduling in the email?
Yes.
Okay, because obviously we want, the facilities to be utilized all the time. I mean, that's great, but we also have to have equal access to people who are just showing up and playing.
Right.
So, did you work that out, Shannon, have we worked something out there that they play at a certain time, or so it's open otherwise?
It's open, I think, according to his email, if somebody shows up, they'll work them in
Okay,
to play it.
is that what's happening?
Yeah, this is not, Playtime Scheduler is not a reservation system. And they make that very clear when you log on. You have to acknowledge that. What it does is it allows people to get together to coordinate, to try to play at certain times.
Sure.
and places.
Yeah.
Okay? We have never turned anybody away.
Doesn't sound it, that sounds like your group
No,
is
it's a very
expanding,
welcoming group.
yeah.
And we invite more people to come out and play.
So what you're interested, I think what you're saying is that until a larger complex gets built, you would advocate building more courts at Southside, is that what you're saying?
That's the preference, yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
We're in the process of, the courts at Burton Wells. They've already been, got funding through ATAC, state and both local ATAC. So, we would have to, return all that funding, back to them. We don't have the land out at Southside. It is owned by the city of Beaufort, and they've been to the city of Beaufort who opted not to do the pickleball courts.
Okay,
So I would encourage them to go back to the city of Beaufort.
With respect to Shannon, that is not entirely correct. There is sufficient space at Southside to add more pickleball courts.
okay,
I'm not talking about the city-owned portion, I'm talking about.
right,
the county-owned
right.
portion.
But I think what Shannon is saying is we already have funding for pickleball courts at Burton Wells. And in order for us to we would have to give that money back, is that what you're saying? For us to look at putting them somewhere else. So what's the
We also have a water table issue out at Southside, that they've got a, project going on testing
Right.
out there, so there's some water table issues in that area. So
but your group would welcome the Burton Wells facility to have courts there, or?
I can tell you that, most people that I know will not go out that distance to play.
Okay.
That's why they prefer Southside, and I would say that the land next to the current courts is just as high as the land the current courts are on. The real problem, if you want a water table problem, is over at Shell Point, where the land surrounding the courts is higher, and water flows over those courts.
But those courts are there, and they've been just put online, and so
And down the Brook Road.
do those courts not get used at Shell Point?
Oh, no, they're used all the time.
Okay,
And
so-
mornings, they're not used in the evenings.
Okay.
And they're not used by tennis.
So the increase in facilities that we've provided are being used significantly.
Every day of the week.
Okay, so that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Shweta or any comments? All right, thank you. Mhm.
Mr. Chair, I have a question regarding public comments.
Yes, sir.
So we have attached to our package we received today, a document from a member of the public from St. Helena. And my understanding from staff, just on basic conversations before this, was that individual intended to come out today, it didn't, maybe was going to ask me here instead. I would just like to ask staff, for the record, if they would consider, I mean, whether or not her concerns are valid or not, I'm not making an opinion, but if she would, that's great, but I'm not sure if that's something that's submitted to the record, her request, because it's not truly public comments, because she's not here, it's not on the agenda. If perhaps staff would consider reaching out to her for the next meeting, either to be here for public comments, or potentially be added to the agenda, that'd be great. I think maybe some of her requests on there might be a little ambitious, but either way, I think her voice needs to be heard, and I do think from a geographic perspective, personally, that St. Helena is a little underserved by facilities, so at least I'd love to hear from her, so. go ahead.
I'll reach out to her, and what I was gonna reach out and let her know is I was gonna forward her email over to the master plan, the group that's handling the master plan, because they're ultimately the one that's handling that.
Understood.
And so that way it can go in their, thought process and what they're doing with the master plan.
Got it. She just took the time to write out something very long and thought out.
Mhm.
I would love for her to have at least the opportunity for her voice to be heard, come out and say what you gotta say, whether we can do something about it or not.
Yeah,
So,
and by the time we have the next board meeting, the master plan may have already gone to council, so. But, anybody that still comes to me with any ideas, I do still forward it to them, even though they're done with their public surveys.
she has a brief reading, some valid
Mhm.
points in there, and I just hate for her to be for silence. That's all.
No, we've been back and forth in email, so.
So is the purpose of this being in the packet, and I think, Will, you bring up a good thing, is this part of the
She asked.
minutes of this meeting, is this
She
part?
asked that we give it out.
Okay.
So, rather than email it, we handed it out.
So it's written public comments, essentially. As far as for the record, what
And
is
I've
it?
never encountered that. so.
Which is my motivation for saying maybe we should invite her out.
Yeah, so obviously, as you say, Will, I'm not certain if the public comments, I would think you would need to be here to do that. So it's good that you put this in here for us to look at, but, you know, it's possible that we could get 50 of these to review at each meeting at some point.
Yeah.
So what I would do is just, you know, let the record show we put this in here for purposes of reviewing it, but encourage her to come to the next meeting
Please.
to discuss this or discuss whatever. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, good point, thank you. All right, that's it for public comment. Has everyone had a chance to review the March minutes? And do we have a motion to approve those or amend those? Or does anyone see anything in there that?
I move that we approve the March minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I did have a couple questions just from these. Were there any updates, Shannon, about downtown tennis, or is that something that you're gonna? It's in today's, any of these things that we're talking about with the survey and the master plan and all that, those are gonna be addressed in today's meeting?
The master plan is not, it's still in progress.
Do you have any idea how many surveys we've got at this time?
They got more than they needed.
So they got more than the 400 that they were shooting for? Okay, great. All right, director's report. And yes, I see downtown tennis is the number one item.
So as you can see, it's progressing, the asphalt's been poured, the fence is going up. We had a couple of change orders, with a few, as you can see, like, in particular, like this light pole and versus the other ones. So some of those things we decided to go ahead and swap out. The rain has kind of slowed things down. So, that's the holdup, but they're hoping to be done in the next 30 days with it and ready to roll.
And how many courts will that add?
It's going back to the original of, 7.
And this is strictly, this is single-use tennis facility, no dual-use pickleball or anything like that, correct? Yeah, okay.
And that was, if you remember, done with some ATAX funding as well.
This was where we had issues with drainage and everything else, right?
Correct.
And we had a PARD grant that sort of, didn't that help with that?
We had the part on the ATAX funding done. Bluffton pool update. This is actually a picture from today. As you can see, the old beams versus the new beams. It's coming along. Unfortunately, we thought it was going to be done by the end of August. It is not because of the rain. They get through 2 hours and they're at a standstill again. So with the roof coming off, as they work, but they've done pretty good considering the rain. They did add working Saturdays and then they add working Sundays trying to speed it up, but.
And our cost doesn't change depending on how long it takes them to do it, right?
Yeah.
Just the facility being
As
closed.
far as the weather goes, we can't hold them accountable.
Right.
So, but it is coming along, it looks 100% better. The rusted versus the new beams. The senior programs, so we're up to Bluffton 41, Booker T 45, Burton Wells 40, Port Royal 15, Scott Center 16, and St. Helena 32. Our picture is from a field trip, training and games that they do each day. The seniors have been a very successful program, very exciting program. We are at Bluffton and Burton Wells that we are, in St. Helena that we feed each day. Scott, Port Royal, and Booker T, hopefully we'll have the renovations that were required for ADA requirements finished up this week so that we can get them on the schedule to start the feeding with them as well. So, it's coming along good. I can't say enough about it. It's just been amazing and very rewarding. And the seniors are just so appreciative of the program itself. It's a lot of fun to go out there with them and laugh and cut up and play games. It's amazing.
Well, it looks, based on your numbers from last time, you're up 30% in those 3 locations, Bluffton, Booker T, and Burton Wells from last time.
Mm-hmm. And Bluffton, for example, we used to have the seniors, and they had their little senior room. And then, I'm sure all of y'all voted at Bluffton Center at some point, how you got the big room and then the little rooms. We've outgrown the little room, so we're gonna have to move them into the big room and take up the bulk of the center when the voting moves out in November. So, it's been great. Registration numbers for youth. Currently, right now in Beaufort, soccer, we're at 420. Flag football 94, cheer 33, baseball 125, and softball 50. Bluffton's at 819, flag football's 279. It is just continuing to grow. Cheer at 53, baseball 296, and softball 149. Winter youth sports registration began today for basketball.
So the fall programs haven't started yet, have they? Or they just started?
So teams have been put together, practices were set, and good old rain.
Yeah.
So we finally just bit the bullet this week, something that we like to do, but we moved soccer inside, because the gym floors need to be refinished anyway. We put that on hold and moved the soccer inside, and the baseball we opened up to the indoor batting cages. And, in Beaufort, they moved their soccer inside, and Beaufort. The St. Helena has a covered batting cage, but it's just, this rain has been brutal.
Well, it's good that you adjusted your facilities to get them going.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
good.
making the public happy.
A lot of baseball there, Alan, for fall. That's pretty good for fall ball, isn't
Yeah. I was out there on Saturday helping.
it? Good.
It was hot.
It's hot,
It was all that humidity from the rain and everything,
but then the rain came back.
right after we got done. Yeah. They were out, I mean, fields were packed till 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, we're trying to finish up kickball.
And that's softball, that's adult softball, right?
No.
That's
this is
kid, that's
all-
girls?
This is all youth.
Oh, girls, oh, yeah. Yeah, you, all right.
Yeah, this is all youth.
Softball's increased hugely.
Yeah, that's a big increase. Softball.
Registration numbers for adult, current sports fall, we've got Beaufort, baseball registration begins on Monday. For that program, as we mentioned last time, it's steady increasing. BLUFFTON, softball adults, we have 42 teams, and volleyball, we had 4 teams. And registration ends on that on Friday. Playgrounds with the new budget that, we were given, we've started, we got POs out for playgrounds, because things just don't come in like they used to and quickly. So, we should see these hopefully next March or April. BLUFFTON Center, this is the playground, that we chose to replace out there. Gloria Potts, this is the playground that we chose to replace out there. And because of the number of trees out there, we're gonna move the playground, out into the front of the center and put a, split rail fence around it and give it a better area to be at. Shell Point, this is the playground that we chose for there, and Lynn Brown, the same one. Wesley Felix has the 2 playgrounds. It has the large playground, and then it has, the smaller playground. The large playground's only maybe 4 or 5 years old, so, but the smaller playground is a lot older, so we're gonna replace it, the smaller playground out there. And then Agnes Major, we're doing away with 3 different areas of playgrounds and doing 1 playground out there.
Hello. For our Battery Creek indoor pool, until BLUFFTON pool opens back up, our hours are Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning till 12, and then 1 to 7. We also have our inflatables from 10:30 to 4:30 on Saturdays. We offer our boat classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6:15 to 6:45. We have our Finn swim team and our high school swim teams that are at the pool. Finn is Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 5:30, and then the high school's right after from 5:30 to 7. And then we have our youth school swim lessons. They start this September between 9 and 12. For our Beaufort pool on Lake Island, the hours are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 to 12, then 1 to 7. We have our yoga classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, 6:15 to 6:45. Our water aerobics, Mondays and Wednesdays, 1:30 to 2:30. And then our high school swim team is Monday through Friday from 4 to 6. And then we also have our school swim lessons starting there as well in September from 9 to 12. Our Lynn Brown pool, which is our outdoor pool, for this weekend, we have the hours for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. For Saturday and Monday, it's from 10 to 12, 1 to 7, and then on Sunday, it's 1 to 7. And then our dog day, it's September 10th, which is the Saturday after, and that is from 10 to 1. We offer our swim lessons. We have group and private swim lessons that are year-round. We have a stroke improvement class that's also offered year-round. We offer CPR and our lifeguarding classes. Any questions about the pools?
You know, just a general question about the pool, Shannon. When is our contract up with the school. Isn't that this year? Carlos, do you know about
So
that?
many contracts.
No.
What's that?
I said we have so many contracts.
Right, but, I mean,
Off the
don't-
top of my head.
I mean, we had about a 20-year lease with the pools, right? That's-
Yeah, I wanna say it's a couple more years though. I don't
All
know
right.
if it was up this year.
Maybe at the next meeting, we can see when that is.
I can look.
You know, what, I mean, I know pools have been an issue, obviously with the Bluffton pool. We used to see, some information on, you know, how much activity we had at the pools in terms of people participating. You know, I think now that we're open again, and once Bluffton, is back online, maybe we can get some feel from you as to how many people are utilizing the pools, because I don't know if that contract, if it's 2 years from now, maybe it's a little different, but if it's next year, you know, I think, we're obviously still gonna be managing pools, we know that, but we probably ought to have an understanding of what that, new contract should look like. I know that's outside of probably our purview, but somewhat, but, I'd just like to know how much of the pools are being utilized, how many lessons we're doing. I mean, I know we're supplying the school district with those things. And I know you have difficulty finding lifeguards too. I mean, those are open positions, right? So obviously if we don't have people that can, be lifeguards at the pools, our pools really can't, you know, be open, right? So, okay, very good.
Yeah, we've had to cut back, you know, the hours like lunch and stuff, just to try to make do with the lifeguards. As far as the pools go, Bluffton pool with the structural should be done hopefully, well, this month, now that we're in September. But, then we're gonna close Beaufort or Battery Creek and start there. So with the shift and everything, everything's moving around so much.
Yeah.
We've got, the budget was given 4.5 million to do the 3 pools, and that was, upgrade the, structural part of it as well as the, heating and air in each of them. So, with the not being able to get supplies, the heating and air is kind of, we're waiting to see, you know, how long that's gonna take. But all of them are gonna kind of be moving parts for the next year with everything and getting all this stuff done and completed.
Okay.
Employee update, so admin, we're still looking for 2 full-time admin clerks to work the evening hours and weekends, so that we can open back up on the weekends. We're still, have had advertised since July 1st for a facility maintenance position, we have filled it. Aquatics lifeguards, we're at 4 full-time, 4 part-time that are still open. Maintenance, we're at 8 positions left to fill. Athletics, we have 2 athletic supervisors, and rec aides, we have 9 positions to fill.
So in terms of hours here in Burton Wells, we're not open on the weekends in either place?
No.
Just because of,
Staff.
okay.
We cut it back with COVID, and then trying to get the staff back to where we needed it to be. People just don't apply.
And we've determined that not being open on the weekends is the best alternative, right?
We would like to be open, that's what we're trying to.
Right, so when we have situations like, so we're open Monday through Friday, starting at, we had 6 a.m. at one time, we're still doing that?
We're 8
8 to 8 now? Okay. And obviously, when the winter comes with inside sports and other things, we're gonna have to be open on
We're
the
open
weekend.
on Saturdays, yeah, just for that.
Well, understandably, finding people is difficult, so.
Very. Next meeting Thursday, November the 3rd in Beaufort. Typo.
All right, so when I show up here.
No, I'm telling you now,
Okay.
Beaufort. Any questions?
Does anybody have any other comments or anything good for the good of the order, so to speak?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, good job. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, everybody, for being here, and we will see you on November 3rd in Bluffton.
No,